So in thinking about where I want to go and where I want to put my time and my effort, I have pulled away a lot of my responsibilities that were filling my time and also filling my paycheck. And I've decided to go down to just 50% effort, so that I'm doing only the things that I want and care about. But that cuts my paycheck down to an amount that doesn't even cover what I need every month. It'll cover like rent and basics, but not student loans and things like that.
So we're in a place right now, essentially, where at this point, my only income is from this.
Yeah.
And court dropping down to 50%. We basically are at a place where we are paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And yet, still, both of us have made decisions that this is the road that we're taking and we're following.
Mm-hmm.
I can wholeheartedly say that I'm in a place that I trust that the money is going to show up when I need the money to show up.
Mm-hmm.
The scary part is not knowing the how that's going to show up.
Yeah.
But I think if you know the how, then you limit potential opportunities for it to fall into your lap.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about before with like I knew the how of my previous paycheck or what I was making, but there weren't any like future opportunities for that to change at all. It was just like a consistent this is it forever. And even though I don't know the how on this path, in full transparency, sometimes I am in quite a bit of fear around what am I going to do. But there is the least amount of fear around what's going to happen in walking forward and trying something new.
Why do you think that is?
I think because when you try something new and you take a different path, like, yeah, you could fall on your face, but you could exponentially succeed. Whereas before, I was just sort of like status quo forever.
Yeah. I tell people, like, when it comes to the unknown, that there's equal chance that, you know, a sledgehammer comes flying out of the sky and hits you in the head as much as a $1 million bag of money comes out of the sky and hits you in the head. Like, that's the thing with the unknown, is we tell ourselves that the worst case scenario or something bad, or like that it's not going to happen because our past experience has shown that to be true.
Sure.
But past does not guarantee future.
Right.
And so I've gotten to a place in my life where I am willing to bet on myself. Actually, I've always been willing to bet on myself. But in the past, it was betting on myself, like almost betting on my ego. It was like betting on my hustle and betting on like knowing that I would work as hard as I needed to work in order to make it happen. And now I'm approaching life from a different viewpoint where I still work hard, but I'm not willing to put everything into the pursuit of money.
Yeah.
Because I know where that got me.
Yeah.
It got me to a place for a period of time where I had money and was the emptiest I'd ever been.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, I feel like you're more risky in things that you'll do, but I've always been somebody that's like, I know that I can figure it out. Like, if I need money, I will get another job. Like, I'm somebody who has had 3-4 jobs at a time because I'm like, I will not let myself falter. Like, I can trust that will happen. Whereas the mindset has shifted for me as well, where I'm like, I'm not dying for this anymore.
The question is, like, why is the bank account the last thing to kind of make the transition? And for me, I think it's intimately linked to the 30-second gene key, which is my life's work, and its failure is the shadow there. And it's really the current hiding place for failure, which is ultimately fear or this feeling of panic that something's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
In this modern time, that is our bank account, right? That's where that fear is currently residing, where if the bank account gets below a certain point, I'm worried that the world is going to fall apart. In the past, it was not having enough food or being cast out from the tribe, but things have changed.
Yeah.
And now your bank account is a proxy for being able to have a sense of belonging,
For
right?
safety.
Like for safety, for food, like all of that
For
stuff.
connection, you need money to do stuff sometimes.
Totally.
Yeah. For sure.
And so I think for me, it's like this big test, essentially. Internally, within myself, can I commit to living the way that I told myself that I want to live, regardless of what's happening with my bank account?
Yeah.
And I have plenty of responsibilities, right? Like, I'm not just like, this is another thing I hear all the time is like, well, what about my family? And what about, like, it's not just about me. And I hear you, it's not just about me. But I just have this thing inside of me that I'm not willing to let go of. I'm
Yeah.
not willing to push down. And I really have a sense that being that kind of pirate, that risk taker, that outlaw will pay off.
Yeah. I think you hit on something that really resonates with me, which is like, I did have some form of stability when it came to money. But what was the cost of that? Right? Like, I had that, but I wasn't happy in all of those other areas that you were talking about. Like, my relationships weren't as the way that I wanted them to be. Like, what I was doing every day wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I had that stability. And do I want to exchange those things that I feel like light your soul up and make life worth living for stability? What I considered financial stability, which honestly still wasn't even that stable because I was constantly worried about money. So it's like, would I rather be worried about money and have all of the like greater things that are making my life feel full, or would I rather worry about money and have this like false sense of stability?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it's all a false sense of stability. That's
Right.
the key, right? It's
Yeah.
like everything can fall apart at any moment.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean that. Like, God forbid something happens and just like all bets are off, right?
Also,
Our
like,
life is totally different.
that was the lesson of COVID, right? Nobody saw that coming, and that
Right.
shifted literally everybody's life in a second.
And so we've just made the commitment that we're going to do what we feel like we're here to do.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that there may be a rocky middle patch, or there may not. Like, I really believe that with a sense of commitment and showing up every day and doing the things that I need to do, that synchronicity and miracles happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just takes one of those things to happen to make everything different. Like, it takes one video and everything's different.
Yeah.
I guess the point here that I'm trying to get at is everything is unknown.
Yeah.
And to try and think, well, I can pull the money lever by going and doing something that makes me miserable is just no guarantee.
Right.
And so I feel like it's better to just honor what is being asked of you.
The thing that I've been thinking about a lot is about my parents, and specifically about my dad, who really like worked really hard, saved all the money, had tons of assets and all of this stuff, and then he got divorced at a late age and had some really serious health problems, and a lot of that, and then the market is also not in a great place, and it's just kind of shattering underneath him. And this is somebody who spent 30 plus years doing it in the way that's like, I'm gonna have the stuff that I need at the end of the day because I followed the path that people tell me to follow instead of the things that I want. And then it's taken from you at the end, and you're like, well, I got to figure it out anyway. Like, I don't want to be in a position where I'm in my 70s and I have to figure it out in my 70s when I could have been doing that in my 30s and having more fun doing it. Right?
Yeah.
I'd rather make life about that rather than in a panic at the end of my life.
Yeah, I mean, the great lie is that if we go to school and get degrees, that we're going to come out and have good middle class jobs and be able to live the life of, maybe not luxury, but certainly, what everybody wanted back in the day.
That's the millennial lie.
And so doing what other people tell you because it's the right thing to do is certainly no guarantee.